and welcome to your Wednesday footy feed. Carlton ruckman Matthew Cruiser remains in doubt for Saturday night's huge semi-final against the Sydney Swans. It was a closed training session today, but Matt, no doubt you had the binoculars out.
Well, Jackie, you know we do our very best to try and find out what's happening at training, even when it is a closed session. Now, we were peeking through the windows, the whole press pack, just trying to find out who was on the track and who wasn't, just before the cameras were let in to film the very end of Carlton training. Mick Malthouse didn't seem too happy about that.
What do you guys adhere to? What sort of rules do you adhere to, if any, in this case? I'm quite well. It doesn't worry me at all. I always want to know just what if I join the ranks of the media again, I'd always like to know, am I allowed to peep? Am I allowed to take cameras in? I mean, I've done this at West Coast and they're flying a camera over, flying a helicopter over, so that's the way it is. I don't care, as long as we know where we sit.
All right then, so on to the team news and what we saw and what we didn't. We did see that Chris Judd was out there on the track. Of course, his body a little bit sore after the win over Richmond in his comeback game, but he is expected to be fine for Saturday night against Sydney. Now, we also saw Brock McLean. Now, he was kicking on his non-preferred foot, but again, Mick Malthouse is confident he will be right to play. There was no sign at all of Matthew Cruiser, although Mick Malthouse did insist that he did do some training today and remains hopeful that he will make the trip to Sydney.
Am I positive? I'm not positive about anyone, really, because that's just the nature of the game, as we saw with Brock McLean last week. He will be... I'll be disappointed if he doesn't play, put it that way.
Now, we also spotted Sean Hampson out there as well. Now, he's been battling a knee injury. Mick Malthouse suggesting it'll be a long shot to bring him back into the side, but you never know if he might be required. Now, in terms of Adam Goodes, the Sydney Swans champion, well, Mick Malthouse says you always play champions, and as a result, he expects the Swans will play Adam Goodes on Saturday night. That is the word that Mick Malthouse is getting. For now, from here at Visy Park, Jackie, it's back to you.
Thanks for that, Matt. After he was strongly recommended to Port Adelaide by plenty of Geelong players, Ken Hinkley is now busy plotting their demise in Friday night's semi-final. Chatting with tennis coach Roger Rashid, the once Geelong assistant coach knows this week's opponent all too well.
Kenny's obviously pretty well known down there, and a lot of Geelong guys, when he did get appointed, were spoke very, very positively of him, and we can understand why now. So. Yeah, it is quite ironic that he's coaching against those guys and potentially trying to knock them out of the finals.
Paul Stewart is in line to return for the clash, having recovered from a broken wrist. Sitting pretty with the week off and a place in the prelims sewn up, Hawthorn has announced two of its most promising young guns have recommitted to the club. Emerging midfielders Brad Hill and Jed Anderson, both Rising Star nominees in 2013, have signed contract extensions.
I didn't expect to play, every game this year bar one, but it's been really exciting, and hopefully I can keep my spot on the side for the rest of the year.
I'm wrapped. Really enjoyed my year this year, and the coaching staff's seen a little bit in me, and hopefully I can stand it on to a long career at the Hawks.
Those signings now leave the Hawks chasing one key signature, that of Lance "Buddy" Franklin. OK, now to trade talk, and there's speculation St Kilda veteran Nick Del Santo may have played his last game in Saints colours. AFL.com.au's Nick Bowen is in the newsroom. Nick, what can you tell us?
Actually, Jackie, we spoke to Nick last night before the MVP Awards, and he's very keen to stay at St Kilda. He sees a role there for himself, mentoring the young kids, and really wants to help them through that rebuilding period. However, the talk persists of a trade, perhaps to North Melbourne, they're the really big names, or even by mutual agreement, Nick leaving the club as a free agent. The Saints loom as being really massive players in the trade period. Key defenders are what they're after. They're really keen on North's Luke Delaney and GWS's Josh Bruce. Meanwhile, Collingwood had the three big names delisted yesterday: Darren Jolly, Andrew Cracker and Alan Didak. Don't be surprised if Cracker winds up at Carlton under former mentor Mick Malthouse. Finally, Melbourne delisted 5 players today, with James Seller among the biggest of those names. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for that, Nick. And that's it for today's Footy Feed. I'm Jackie Reid. See you next time.